So I have a confession to make. I am a terrible interior designer, decorator, whatever you call it. I am really bad at it. Now, when I am out in people's homes, I'm good at staging. Like I understand staging, but as a decorator, I'm terrible. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I found this video the other day on YouTube. It popped up on my home screen and I thought, oh, this is kind of interesting. And it is from a designer, decorator designer, who probably isn't talking to people my age or people like me, but it popped up and I thought, that's interesting because the title was Please Stop Decorating Like Home Improvement Shows. And as you guys know, I have done a video before about how your home needs to look like HGTV if you're thinking about selling. And so when this popped up, I had to watch it. But this video is a great video, and it really helped me personally to understand why I have such PTSD in decorating my own home. But again, I'm a great stager.
Home improvement shows have convinced you that everything is wrong with your home. When you watch these shows, they're entertaining. You go into a home and they basically pick it apart. Everything that is wrong, this kitchen is outdated, these paint colors are terrible. They pick it all apart and they go in and basically do a full renovation of the space. And yeah, it's entertaining. That's kind of the whole point. But it also kind of messes with your head as a viewer when you are looking to decorate your home or buying an old home that needs renovations, that everything is wrong. Everything needs to be gutted and redone to follow the trends, when in reality, that doesn't necessarily need to happen.
I thought that was a great statement because my video that I did before was about how you need to have your home look like HGTV in order to sell it. The title of the video was HGTV has destroyed the real estate market. And the idea is the same, that what she's talking about is that HGTV, because it puts out all of these amazing homes, which are really like this modern farmhouse look, that everybody really believes that their home needs to look like this. Now, this is where I want to kind of edit my comments from the last video. Is I did not mean for it to look like HGTV, like it needs to look like a modern farmhouse look. However, I think that's probably what I conveyed out. So the idea that your home needs to look like HGTV, sort of, yes, it does, because the buyers, the viewers who are watching these shows are completely trained. And that's what they think homes are supposed to look like. So her comments about this were just dead on. And I was like, absolutely, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Nowadays on HGTV, everything is pretty much exactly the same, which has really convinced everybody that their homes need to look this way. And it's not really for personal reasons. It's all about resale. When people are decorating their homes now, they're just thinking about the next homeowner. Like, oh, I don't want to make this big unique change because if we sell the home, we want it to fit the aesthetic that honestly has been created by home renovation shows.
So that is so true. And I have not been able to convey that a lot because a lot of people ask me questions. We have our Facebook group that has people uploading pictures and things like that. And a lot of people do think that the home needs to look just like on HGTV. Now, I have said that before in the past, that they need to look like it. What I didn't really say is they need to look sparse and crisp in photos, and that's for marketing purposes. What I don't think I really truly conveyed is that you do not have to update your whole home in order to make it look like it should sell. I will tell you, over the last couple of years, I've been working on my seller's playbook, and I started my seller's playbook as a course, basically, not paid or anything like that. I wanted to give this to my sellers because I thought that I had a lot of value to give them, but I didn't want to continue to say the same thing over and over again because I felt like I was missing out on telling everybody. And I really wanted them to watch this seller seminar, essentially, is what it is. Over the last year, I've created all of this into my seller's playbook, which many of you have downloaded. We've had 14,000 plus downloads of this. And this book is really going to talk to you about what to update and what not to update. And as I've been creating this playbook and updating it every month or so with new things that I'm teaching, I've become a better teacher. Like, I realize I've become a better agent because I'm teaching all of you. Now, there's some things I said in the beginning, not that I think I was wrong, but I like to elaborate on them. And so I feel like this video is more of an elaboration on the whole HGTV thing that will help you in the long run to sell your home for more money at the end of the day. And, so that seller's playbook is always available for you guys. And I do update it frequently. So you can use the QR code or just click on the link below.
People are decorating their homes, bottom line, to resell. But what I find interesting about that is, why can you not resell your home when putting in unique touches? When I'm looking for a place to rent, or when I was looking for a place to buy in Chicago, I was looking for unique stuff. I think it's an added bonus if you find a place that had a homeowner that did some unique things to it. But I guess, for the masses, maybe not so much.
So this was the part when she said this that I was like, holy cow, this is exactly what I personally needed as a homeowner. I have like serious PTSD when it comes to decorating. And this goes back many, many years, but there was a point in my life when I was just terrified of putting the wrong picture up or buying the wrong piece of furniture because it wouldn't match or somebody wouldn't like it. And I really kind of shut down as a decorator of my own home. And I just like, I can't make a decision. Now, listen, I am really good at making decisions, like super good at making decisions. But I have to tell you, like when it comes to picking out a piece of furniture, I am the worst. So I bought this table, and this table literally took me like 3 hours to find. I was committed to decorating this one little piece and part of my home. It's the entryway. I don't know what to put there. And it took me like 3 hours over multiple days. I'm not even kidding, to pick out a piece. Now, if I was helping somebody stage, I would have been like that. This is what you need to do, because I'm understanding what buyers are looking for. I know what buyers want. And yeah, they're looking for something crisp and clean. That's all it needs to be, is crisp and clean. It does not have to be super, super trendy. So in my mind, I kept thinking, well, I'm trying to make this everybody else like my piece. I mean, I started really small because that was not very expensive. And I still don't know if I actually love it, but I know that it's pretty neutral. And so I thought, well, then it's going to appeal to everybody. But like, it's my home. I'm not moving. Why am I not finding something that is unique to me that I like? And that's when it kind of all set in, all from this video.
Through this market reflected gaze, people are seeing their homes as a monetary value rather than personal value. So it's kind of, which one do you want to be? Which way do you want to go?
It really set in that all I see in everything I do is staging, right? How are buyers looking at it? And so many people who come to me and they're in our Facebook group and they're posting pictures and things like that about their unique homes. And they're all thinking, I need to paint this. I need to get rid of this. I need to change this. I need to update this. And I was like, you don't. And I'll say this a lot. You don't have to paint the cabinets. You don't have to redo the kitchen or redo the bathroom. And I realized that as you are doing your home, as you are designing your home is going to be unique to you. And I want it to be. I really, really want you to make your home unique to you, which I haven't been able to do, but now I'm going to start really trying to do that. If you're thinking about selling, that's different. Okay. It's different about getting your home prepared to sell. Now, there might be suggestions made about painting a wall here or there, or updating maybe a bathroom that's in really, really bad shape. And all of the updates that I provide to all of you are really about making the most money when you sell your home, becoming a profitable homeowner. Now, that could be a year, that could be 5 years, that could be 10 years from now. And as I was kind of working through all this in my mind over the last week and watching this video and thinking about, wow, I really cannot make a decision, I really decided that everything that you need to do in order to become a profitable homeowner, which means to sell your home for the most amount of money at whatever point that you decide to sell, is that your home has to have 0 deferred maintenance. That's it. That's it. Because I have had many, many homes that are super dated that sell like that because they're incredibly clean. So this is a house that I sold, I don't know, a few years ago. And I swear this was adorable. And it was adorable because it was cozy. It felt comfortable. It felt energy-like. And when I went in, the sellers are like, well, we haven't done anything in the house at all. And I walked in and I said, you don't have to do a single thing here. So now look at these pictures that I'm showing you. So this picture here, I mean, you can see they have plastic on the carpet. When you have plastic on the carpet and that's the way that you're living, the house was like so clean. There was 0 deferred maintenance in this house. Now look at that. Kitchen is quite old, but it was in perfect condition. Same thing. I mean, the hardwood floors throughout, it was very neat. It was very clean, and it was not updated. I mean, look at that bathroom. It just was not updated. And so when you see a house like this, you know that the owners have really cared for it, which means there's no hidden issues in the home. There's no roof issues or HVAC or leaking anywhere. It means that they have taken pride and care in their home over the course of years. Now, if they hadn't taken care of this home and I went in there and was like, oh, it's dated and it has deferred maintenance, that's a real issue. So when we listed this house, it had multiple offers over list price, and this was in a down market.
In some of Zillow's recent research, it shows that a white kitchen can actually hurt a home's price by $612. But years ago, I feel like that was not the case. And it's stating that a charcoal gray kitchen can actually increase your home price by $2,512. Kind of crazy. And the researchers behind these Zillow studies are saying a lot of this is due to home improvement shows. A lot of the reasons that people are more drawn to an all gray kitchen is because Joanna Gaines is creating an all gray kitchen. There's not really any show on television, at least, that is showcasing really unique designs.
So this is really, really true, is that when buyers are looking at homes, yes, they are drawn to this whitish style. Like, she's right there. The white really is not as popular as it used to be. And I do think, yes, a gray might be a little more popular and trendy. But that's the point, is I don't want you designing your home to be trendy. I want you to design your home to live in. And when the time comes to sell it, you're going to kind of edit out the personality and the uniqueness. And that is what I really meant.
I personally have stopped watching HGTV because I haven't really found anyone on there that's not doing, the shiplap, the modern farmhouse. It's basically the modern farmhouse. Because of the HGTV aesthetic, which is kind of showing you that your home needs to be perfection. When you go into an outdated house, there's nothing to keep. Knock it all down, start from scratch, update it to what's trendy right now, instead of kind of, going in and saying, hey, we could keep this could come back in style. That's how my decorating process is. I would personally love to keep as much as possible. I love buying an older home that has unique features. I don't want everything brand new. I've never been interested in even building a house from scratch.
Okay, so this statement here is what really kind of opened my eyes to say, holy cow, I can put pieces in here that maybe don't really match. Maybe there are things that I just like and I enjoy that makes me feel comfortable, that make me feel good. And in my mind, I've been doing this whole staging thing because I'm thinking, well, I need to make it kind of what is everybody's going to like. No. I have decided now I'm going to do things that I feel comfortable with. And I've got a lot of pieces and things in my house that I haven't really done anything with. I have a lot of pictures I haven't put up because they're not trendy. And I've decided that I am going to just make it work for me and my family. And we're going to make this house comfortable in what we want it to be. And so even though I teach all of this all of the time, I fell into this as well. And so that's why I'm editing my HGTV video to say it doesn't have to look necessarily like HGTV homes. It needs to look like it as far as the cleanliness and just the sleekness of what the photos look like. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I never hit record. Oh my God, did I not hit record? All right, let me see if this recorded it. All right, guys. I'm super hot right now. I got hot because I realized that I might not have been recording after I'd done this for 25 minutes. Okay. Whew, that made me nervous. Okay, but I was recording. Everything's all fine.
So these buyers are very, very busy. These millennials, they're typically dual income, probably have, a couple of kids, and they're running around all the time. Their kids are in a lot of activities. Their kids are in sports. And so they are incredibly busy. Now, this is where the whole HGTV issue comes into play. Because they are so busy, their first showing is online. I want you to keep that in your mind. The first showing is online. And so if they do not like your pictures, they will not come to the house. It's done. It's over. They will not come. So you need to remember, your pictures are your first showing. So if they are online and they are looking at your photos and they don't think it's a good picture, they're going to just swipe through it. What is it? Swipe left? I don't know, whatever that is. But that's what they're going to do. They're just going to pass it by. They're not even going to look at your pictures, and then it is out of their mind and it's out of their thought process. If your pictures look good and your house looks good and it looks like HGTV, they will come and set a showing. This is what is so significant. I cannot stress enough to you the way that buyers are actually looking at photos today.
So I want to show you this great example of how furniture or the way it looks can kind of be a little bit detrimental as far as a home that looks like HGTV. Now, when I'm talking about this, I mean in homes that look sparse and clean and they don't have any uniqueness. Now, clearly, the seller who lived here was very, very unique in the designs that they wanted. You can see there's a lot of ornamental stuff there, the rugs, things like this. It's just very heavy furniture. That takes away from the house. If you look at this house, it looks like it's in great condition. It's got some beautiful hardwood floors. It looks like it's really, really well taken care of. But the furnishings distract you from seeing this house the way it is. So this is what I'm talking about. I would not have recommended that they actually update anything or do anything in this house. I would suggest that they're editing out some of the uniqueness of the furniture. So for example, whenever I see hardwood floors, I probably would pull out some of these rugs that are not as neutral because you can't see the flooring. You can't see the beautiful hardwood. And I'd probably remove some of the furniture as well. So your idea is to keep everything kind of neutral when you're looking at the room. So I want to go back and show you a couple other comments that I had made in my other HGTV video that I'm going to tell you if they're right or they're wrong. And see if I still agree with them.
So how do you get your home to look like HGTV? And I know my older sellers are going to say they don't believe me. Probably at the end you will believe me, okay? I promise you're going to be an expert in this. The furniture has to just be like cheap and trendy furniture. That is literally all you need.
I agree with this if you're trying to neutralize. That's what I mean. So obviously in the last home that I showed you, that was not cheap furniture. That was not trendy furniture. The rugs were not cheap. They were not trendy. They were exactly the way they loved. However, what could happen is they could pull out a couple of those rugs, not spend any money. It's going to look really good. They could also neutralize by bringing in cheap and trendy rugs, maybe basic furniture, maybe a new lamp that is a little trendy. So yes, that I still sort of agree with. Not if you're decorating, do whatever you want if you're decorating, but if you are trying to stage, cheap, just go cheap and go trendy. As long as it sort of works, I guess. But I kind of guess so.
Another thing is that you cannot have a lot of bright colors throughout the house. Now, back in like probably, 2000, the colors were kind of like yellows and reds and like that kind of maroon color. Those just don't shoot well. And those are dated colors. And so you need to really make sure that the colors that you're using are not dated.
Now, I want to talk about this because when people are deciding what color to paint their homes, the only times I'm recommending colors are if you're really thinking about moving, okay? If you're thinking about making the home your own, pick whatever colors you want. And again, I want you to enjoy it. Even if you do an accent wall that's like a bright color or maybe a dark gray or a dark red or something like that, don't worry about it because you can always say, you know what? Before we move, we're going to repaint. I want to show you an example of a house that really probably should have been repainted because as you can see in all of these pictures, it is very, very yellow. I mean, super yellow. So somebody, when they're looking at this house, they're thinking, I'm going to have to spend money to repaint that whole house. Like they can't even just live with it. So that is an expense that somebody is going to have to undertake. You know, that green color. Honestly, if these people had spent the money on just painting that color. Now, when they lived there, they loved it. I'm sure they loved that yellow. It was perfect for them. But if you're thinking about selling and you want to get the most amount of money for your house, you might have to adjust and make it work for what the buyers are looking for. So yes, I still agree with what I said before.
Okay, I'm showing this picture because I want to show you these really, really tall cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling, plus that trim work up at the top that's painted gray. Now, many older kitchens have small, short cabinetry, and they don't go all the way up to the top of the ceiling. And so when I say your kitchen might not look like buyers are looking for, that's one thing that they're looking for. Are those cabinets going all the way up to the ceiling? Because sometimes you can paint cabinets that are older, but if they're not going all the way up to the ceiling and maybe there's a soffit up there where you actually have more room, it might be a waste of money, and I'll show you a few more pictures like that.
Okay, so do I still agree with this? I do. Not all cabinets need to be painted. And if they're in good condition and the rest of the home is sort of dated, I don't know if I recommend painting cabinets. These you can see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. These are older cabinets and they don't go up to the ceiling. So from pictures, I'm gonna know these are just painted cabinets. This is not a new kitchen. So you can see that they put in like this backsplash and the countertop and painted the cabinets. I don't know if that was absolutely necessary, especially if the rest of the house needed work. It's hard to say because I don't really know this home. I wasn't in it. I don't know how much deferred maintenance it had. So it's very hard for me to tell just right from here if they should have done it or they shouldn't have. Now, many times you're gonna say, how do I, know what to do? And that's tough. I mean, it's very hard for you to know on your own. You can join our Facebook group and upload your pictures there, and I'll answer every question in there. You can have your agent come in. That's usually what I say is the best, even if you're a couple years out, because you do not want to overspend. And plus, you want to do something and enjoy it. So you don't want to just do it to sell, like I was talking about earlier. You want to make sure it looks great. I'd rather you spend your money on fixing any deferred maintenance than painting cabinets, truly, like making it look clean and sharp and editing out all the personal unique things. If you guys need an agent, you can reach out to me and I will personally vet out all these agents that I give out. We've given out like so many in the last year. I can't even believe it. We've had some amazing successes with our sellers who have been very, very happy with our choices. So if you need that, no pressure, no obligation, but go ahead and fill out the link below. So this is a house I found, and I talk about making a home unique, making it your own. Now, if you choose to make your home unique, you will pay the consequences in the end. You can't expect to put something super unique in and get the money out necessarily when you go to sell. Totally fine for you to do the uniqueness, which is what I'm going to try, but take a look at this home. Like, that is impressive. I mean, that must have been a huge waterfall in there. I mean, it looks almost like a restaurant. I mean, so the other thing, this has I don't even think that's tile. I think that's granite. To take up all of this stone, this granite, I mean, you are talking, I can't even imagine how much, plus the dust and the time and the energy. This is a massive project. So again, I want you to decorate your home the way you want to. However, let's pretend they said, well, now why aren't we getting what we want for our home? Well, it's because of this. So you just need to keep that in mind, that if you choose to do something with this, I love it. I think it's great. I'm sure the house showed fantastic, but it probably will mean that your home appeals to less people. Not a big deal. So if money is not the object, it doesn't matter. Now, many of you are going to say, of course, money's the object. It's always the object. No, I get a lot of sellers that want lower stress. So if you just want a home that's the way that you want it, then do this. Make it unique, make it your own, but then you won't just be able to expect the highest dollar amount when you go to sell. Now, there's some other things that are unique in a home, and maybe they were originally there, maybe it's a vintage home or an older home, and you just have to keep in mind again that your market is going to be a little less. So I found this home. It's amazing. Looks like it was a former church. I mean, pretty amazing. It's got some really, really beautiful woodwork on the inside, beautiful hardwood floors. But this home is not made for everyone. So if you were to take this and try and make it look like HGTV, which is the whites, the modern farmhouse, that I would not do. I absolutely would not do that, because like Paige, who was doing the videos earlier, this would have been a house she probably would have absolutely loved because of its uniqueness. Now, if you take away that uniqueness in a home that you have, I mean, first of all, I don't know if I love that with the home. And there are buyers out there who may want the home, but you bought that house for that reason. So there probably is another buyer out there as well who might buy it, with this as well. So there's not much you can really do in this type of home to make it look like HGTV, other than probably, taking out some of the furniture maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't stage this with modern furniture. It is sort of what it is. And keep in mind, everything will sell for a price. So you keep reducing the price on this home, it's going to sell. Again, if money is not your major issue, then don't worry about making the home the way you want it to be. So I want to show you this home that's it's pretty typical of what I'd see. People ask in the Facebook group, questions about this. And I'm just going to go through and talk to them about what somebody might need to do in this home to get it ready. So obviously they brought in furniture, which is fine. It made it clean, right? You can see there's no personalization in here, which is great. Now those cabinets are super, super old. If they had painted them, you could tell they were just painted old cabinets. And they have that laminate top, which is not great either. Most likely somebody's going to redo this kitchen, but it does look somewhat livable. So again, I probably wouldn't paint any of this woodwork. I would not paint any of it at all because it's just a lot of money. Now, here's the real thing that I noticed in this house, and this is what I want you to be fixing. If you are spending your money over time while you're living in the house, no deferred maintenance and cleaning. You need to clean like every week, every 2 weeks, like ongoing. You cannot expect to get your home, put it on the market with one deep clean after you haven't cleaned for like 6 months or a year. It will show. People will notice it. And when you look at this picture right here, you can see that this shower is leaking. Now, I can tell that, right? So now they did not address this issue here. So that means to me, there are other issues in the home. If they had addressed this during the time they were living there and fixed it over time, it would have been better than just trying to fix all of these things. That's why you really need to look at a house not in a vacuum, not by one room. Like if somebody had sent me this picture and said, should we replace the bathroom? I mean, you can't. I don't know what the kitchen looks like. I don't know what the rest of the house looks like. I don't know what the market is like. So you can't really do it in a vacuum. That's why you really need, that partner to come in and kind of talk to you about it early on. Again, I don't love this, but is it worth replacing? No. And so if you have bathrooms like this and you think you have to replace them, the time, the effort is worth your money. So I don't know. It's not always best to replace everything like that. So now when you download my seller's playbook, there is a quiz in there. And I want you to look at that and take the quiz about what of the 5 categories your home is in. Because you are going to see in there that certain categories are going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do as far as, getting your home ready and spending the money. If you are a modern move-in, which is like great, awesome, fantastic, no deferred maintenance, looks trendy and new, totally different than what I'm going to recommend if you are a concealable condition, which is kind of like the home that I just showed you. So it's going to talk to you a little bit about like what the buyers are looking for with that and how much you should definitely spend. And as I said, I've worked on this over, years now. And as I've taught it, I have gotten better at it. I hope I have. So while that HGTV video is still great, I think it's great. It's a good one for you to watch to kind of show you what I meant. I think I just need to clarify it, that I don't mean you need to update like HGTV. I mean the pictures need to look like HGTV. It needs to be neutral. It needs to be clean. There can't be any uniqueness in those photos. And the one thing that I finally, after watching Paige's video and then really like doing a self-analysis on myself, I finally realized why these bookshelves behind me are totally fine. Like, I like the stuff on my bookshelves. Now, is it perfect? No. But the things on my bookshelves are all personal to me. So you see, I've got a picture of my parents. I've got my awards. I have a wedding picture there. I have my family picture there. So I have things that are personal to me. Over on this side here, I've got my crocheted flowers from my daughter. Like, this is personal to me and I like it. Now, many people have said, oh, you're talking about decluttering when you've got all that behind you. Yes. And I finally realized it. It's because this back here is unique to me. And that's what I want you to do is you may be 5 years out, but I don't want you to be thinking about taking everything personal out of your house before you're getting ready to sell it. It's just, I don't want you to live like that, and money isn't everything. Like, money isn't everything. If you don't need the money and you need a lesser amount of stress, you do not have to do every single thing I'm suggesting. But I want you to make sure that, you're doing your education to help you at least. And if they're easy little fixes, maybe this channel can help you, or, my playbook or things like that, or an agent that we refer, I want you to get the resources and get the help that you need. So if you have found this video helpful, please subscribe. It helps kick this out to a lot of other people who are in your same situation. Most of our viewers are, I'd say my age and older, and they are feeling like they need help. And our channel and the resources that we've provided have given a lot of people a lot of help. And so if this has been helpful for you, go ahead and subscribe. Now, I am going to link my HGTV video at the end of this one. You can go ahead, watch it, think, all right, that was about 10 months ago. And there have been a few things that changed, but now I've just been able to revise it. And I've just been able to, make it a little bit more effective for you guys. And, if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm always here for you guys. I want you to be a profitable homeowner.